I think we're live. Everything okay? Can you hear my voice okay? Guitar okay? Check, check. 1, 3. 1, 2, 9. Does that sound okay? Check, check, check. Is my voice coming through? That feels a little low, doesn't it? Check, check. Yeah, there we go. We'll see if this holds out. James says it sounds, it's going again. Oh, you think it's going down a little bit? No, no? Just me? I feel like it's going down again. Let's see. It's already, I feel like it's already down. Check, 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 check. Yeah, yeah, yeah. See, I taped it down, and that seemed to work, the taping. Because what I realized is that when I pressed down on it, it worked fine, and when I took my hand off, it would raise up and raise off, and I would lose the signal. So the theory was, it's like losing contact, right? And so, like, put a brick on it, right? It's something to keep constant downward pressure. So I taped it. There's a little piece of tape there. I put a piece of tape on it. And I have the tape like really pressed. I started on this side and I really folded it over, and it's pretty tight. It's tight like a tiger. But we'll see if it loses it. As soon as I touched it, the volume came up, yeah. Yeah, no, it's a bad circuit. Thing is, I made it through my video the other day with it. So I thought I might have fixed it. I thought I kind of figured it out. It's like, needs a down, yeah, see, as soon as you touch it. Now, see, it's holding right there. That sounds actually pretty good. Check 1, 9. Check, check. Yeah, you know, it's holding. All right. So, for now, no guarantees on how long it'll last. It seems to be staying now, right? What's up, Scrap Dog? We got Matt, John, Frank, Yeti Matzi, Jeff E, James, Tony, what's up, buddy? Super glue it. Gotta hit the whammy. I don't have it. Brick sounds better. That would be a brick limiter. For real. Can sounds hook you up with a similar mixer? They probably could. You know, we'll see. What's up, D-Mont? Lonnie O, John Doe, Jay Schaff. What's up, Herb? Got Eric. Andrew. What's up, speaker? We're good, yeah. I feel like the voice is coming through pretty consistently now. Right? For now. Give it 5 minutes. What's up, Mark? What's up, Kevin? Yeti Matsi, if I didn't say it already. Justin. What's up, Awesome? Awesome name. Literally. Retro Puffer, what's up, dude? Assad. Mark wants to know what's the weather report in Neck of the Woods. It was kind of hot and crappy. Like super muggy. Like grotesquely muggy all week until yesterday and today when, you know, the dew point dropped by like almost 25 points. And that makes a huge difference. You know, we had the dew points, my God, they were in like the friggin' mid 70s, upper 70s. It's so gross. Double R guitar, knees hurt. Yeah, pretty much a roasted maple with the... What's crazy is, let's go to roasted maple cam. I don't know if you can see that, but it's actually kind of figured. There's like a lot of... You see those bird's eyes? It's surprisingly figured. And that's not the spec. It doesn't come with a bird's eye maple neck or even a figured maple neck. It's just sort of the luck of the draw. I was like, oh. Yeah, muggy for sure, right? Another music store close. I see as things. Well, here's the thing. Like anything, what my boss used to call the blockbusterization of America. Right? First, there's video stores everywhere. Then there's one giant one that sort of like puts a lot of the smaller ones out of business. And that's what happens, right? There's it's sort of a condensation of of sales. They condense to like one or two major distributors. You know, like Sweetwater, Zounds, Guitar Center, Tolman. You know, I guess in Japan it would be what, Ichibashi Music. They're probably the biggest player out there. You know. So, markets have these major players. There is talk. And with the way the internet is going, I could see this happening. They just go direct. Manufacturers just go direct. They don't need... Right, before it was hard to... How do you get things in people's hands? How do you deal with all that? It would be a nightmare. But now with the internet, it's a lot of that infrastructure is taken care of. And there's so many good, like shipping logistics now, that you could see, Gibson is slowly, Fender, they all have direct offerings. You can buy directly from Fender, you can buy directly from Gibson. I can see that that's where it's headed. Cut out all dealers. You just go straight to the manufacturer. If you want a Gibson, you go to Gibson to buy one. Maybe not, immediately, but you could see that happening. Got the gummy kicking in. Sounds good. What's up, Mark? Yeah, what's worse, waiting for someone to fix the air conditioning or to fix the heat? I don't know. I can kind of live with the heat out because we have like a gas fireplace we can get going. You could always turn the stove on, right, until the heat shows up. But man, you run out of air conditioner. Man, it's just miserable. We had our air conditioner just absolutely friggin' maxed out this week. It was a tough week if you don't like the humidity. But what it's a little drier today. Tomorrow they're saying muggy again. The dew point's going to shoot up by 15 points. It's going to be in the low 70s. And I think the day after that it crashes back down. So it starts maybe a little bit of the. It's too early though. It's like you don't start oscillating now. You start oscillating at the end of August, where you get actually a couple of decent days that are kind of crisp and much cooler, and a little bit of a fall preview, but not in freaking July 19th. Way too early. Frozen pipes are really bad, but I think there's sort of, if your furnace isn't working, at least in my house, there's other ways to sort of get some heat going. We have a gas fireplace. I could get that going. Just even the hot water heater. Crank the stove up. At least the days are getting shorter. Sunset at 8:33. Wow, that's pretty late. We're, I think, down to 8:18. I think we max out at 8:26. And it's so funny because when you get that last little bit as you change direction, you sort of stay around the same position. So right around the summer solstice leading up to it, you hit the 26-minute mark and 11 seconds, and you go on and you actually gain after the summer solstice a little bit more, all the way up to 52 seconds past the 26-minute mark, 8:26 p.m. here. And then it starts to go back again. So it's almost 2 weeks at 8 p.m., 8:26 p.m. around here, as you're going through the that final spot where you've stopped gaining and now you're going to start losing light, but it takes so long. You do really hover in that 1 minute mark for a good 2 weeks, and then it starts to decline. And then you really, once you hit August, then you really start losing time. August, September, October. Steve, did you really like the Donna Hush Pro when you had it? I did. I discovered that I kind of wrote it off because I had only played it through the output, through the guitar output. When I played it through the headphone output and kicked in all the stereo effects versus the mono effects, because the one output can only handle mono, it sounded a lot better. And I thought some of those amp models sounded really good. I think the Hush Pro, the Hush X Pro, sounds really good. Just heat up your house with your abs, sure. Plus, I can get space heaters going. I have at least 2 space heaters I could crank up if I had to. I'd probably put them in the basement where the pipes are, like you say, like, you know. You want to protect whatever you can. So the biggest story of the week, it's not even close. It's got to be that couple, right? At the Coldplay concert. You guys, you hear about this? You know about this? Who doesn't, right? Probably the biggest story in the world. So Coldplay was playing Gillette Stadium, roughly a 20-minute drive from where I'm currently, my ass is planted. And they were playing at Gillette. And they have a portion of the show where, you know, and so they do this at sporting events too. They go out and they move the camera around the audience. So they get to this couple who are in a loving embrace because, you know, they're at a concert. And they realize they're on cam, seemingly shit themselves, cover their faces like, ah! Even Chris Martin was like, well, either they're very shy or they're having an affair. Well, my money's on B. And, you know, God, it just blew up. I don't know if you've seen the photo. I happen to have a still shot right here. There they are. Oh, they are adorable. And, you know, I just wish them all the best. As I understand it, he's still married, but she is recently divorced. And, you know, I just think that when the heart wants what the heart wants. And, like, just, you know, grab onto someone and never let go. He's no. They're old. I don't know if you know this, but they're old flames. That couple's been around forever. So of course it's a local. You're at Gillette. It's all locals, you know, for the most part. And the company had to put out a statement. The board is investigating. They're also saying that she wasn't the head of HR, because, you know, a lot of people thought it was you know, a little would you say hypocritical of the head of HR to be engaged in a romance at work, right? Sort of the chief, like, police officer for inter-office romance. He resigned from the company today. Did he really? Did he really? I guess they're like a $1.2 billion company. Yeah, don't kid yourself. That dude's got money. Yeah, he'll be fine. Golden parachute. Golden something, huh? Oh. You should not have to resign over it. Oh, the word on the street, again, this is according to the local coverage, was that the guy was kind of a colossal douchebag, and a lot of, I guess the text chains between former employees were a lot of, ha! That's what you get. That's what happens, man. Couldn't have happened to a nicer guy. Good. Ah. So I don't know that I'm running out to defend this guy. He is married, as I understand it. As I understood, she was recently divorced. They were saying, you know, he literally just lost half of his net worth. Said, I don't know, he's in Massachusetts. It could be more than half. I agree with that. He didn't have to resign because of the affair. He had to resign because of the massive backlash the company is getting, and he's become toxic. Right? He's become a whipping post. Right? He's become a meme, and the company's trying to be serious, and it's hard to be serious when you're being led by a meme. I thought that Boss rotary pedal sounded good too. I didn't get one, but did I get, yeah, right there. Yeah, the RT2, the rotary ensemble. Well, that looks. That's the RT20. I want the smaller version. I want this is what I'm seeing here. I mean, that's nice and all, but it's not the one I'm looking for. Look for the RT2. Where is it? This it? There we go. There we go. Look at you. Click. Oh, sure. You're going to have to get your camera just right if you want to capture that rotary. You're going to have to crank up the lights, pull down that f-stop. Oh, yeah. Nice. A rotary revolution. Nice. It seems pretty cool, and I like that it's full on stereo. And it has a You can put an external pedal in it to control the speed, which is, again, nice. It's what you would find on a keyboard. Sure. You know, I think I'm a little zoomed in here. There we go. Might get a better breakdown. Rotary magic. Yeah, looks good. It's hard to play anything though, because I'll get a copyright strike for like playing other people's content. But no, I thought it did sound, and of course it looks pretty cool, right? With those what with the LEDs and all. I think they actually do look pretty banging. And you know, I heard, I think the Brent Kingman was the demo I heard. I thought he did a great job, and I thought it sounded really good. The old Rotary Ensemble. Yeah, it's a Brett. Is it Brett Kingman or Brent? Brett, right? It's a Zakk Wylde version. Yeah, is it Brent or is it Brett? Wow. All right. What was I going to talk about? I just had it on the tip. Oh, now I remember. We had, it was a very exciting week this week. We had a mouse. Now, you have to realize I have 4 cats, 2 of which, maybe even 3 of which, are, you know, pretty good hunters, especially Sweetie. Sweetie that's a bit of a misnomer. She's a bit of a bitch. And, yeah, we had a mouse. And the mouse was pretty good at, would get trapped, but would evade them. How it was able to evade 4 cats is just like, it's just amazing to me. But it wasn't going to happen for long. It was just a matter of time before they caught it, and it was like at the bottom of the staircase one morning, which is where they leave the mice. The mice are left at the bottom of the staircase. Pretty much. I don't know why, but that's where they leave them. Or by the food dishes. But, I think if we didn't have cats, my house would be absolutely overrun with mice. It's, they're pretty brutal. And, my house is just too porous. Can't keep them out. So, I was pretty happy to have the cats. We had a couple of crazy nights as they were going cuckoo for that freaking mouse. And our house has so many places to hide. So much clutter and freaking garbage everywhere. That mouse had a pretty good chance of evading for a while. For a little bit. But eventually, Eventually they got it. I think it was Sweetie. You know, my wife was like, I cannot believe how fast this friggin' mouse is. I said, well, if your life depended on it, you'd find the energy. You know. We haven't seen the raccoon. My wife thinks that the trauma she might have just up and taken the babies and just gone. Because we would see the raccoon around the house, and it's been a week we haven't seen her. Oh my God, my cat Kitty could pull birds out of the air. I felt so bad for those birds. She would get a bird on that ground. That bird would sit there stunned in a panic, trying not to move. And then she'd catch her looking away and try to take off. And my cat would leap into the air and bat that goddamn bird to the ground. I was like, oh, come on, get out of here. Oh, I felt so bad for that bird. I would finally go and get the bird, who wouldn't run because it was like petrified. And I would get the bird and pick it up and like fling it so high up in the air that my cat couldn't jump up and get it. Just go, get out of here. Get out of here. Man, this is a nice snack. How much wider the other neck is. The one from the 80s. Oh man, how was your week? I was pretty paralyzed from the friggin' heat. Doing a lot of indoor stuff, and I have one machine left on Windows 10, the Phenom. It's a Phenom 2, X2, that if you had the right motherboard, you could unlock more cores, so it's unlocked to an X3. And I've had that. I think I've had that since 2009, 2010. Been like a media server, but it's time to retire it. So there's really not a lot I can use out of it. Everything is old. The case is old. Everything is old. It's time to go. So in fact, I think I updated it in 2014, and I think I might have added a new video card or something, and I haven't changed it since. So it's been steady, it's been good, but I have a 10th gen i5 down here that's it's about 5 years old, and it's starting to show its age. Some of the software I'm running, some of the audio software I'm running, wasn't really working all that great. Some would work fine, and then other times you'd say, oh, I think it's crackling a little bit, and there was no way I could get it to work where it would be like in real time and not crackle. If you want to it's the fight between the strength of your PC and the number of buffers in the chain. So to get it to not crackle, I'd have to put so many buffers you'd get high latency. So it was like, it's time. So what really works out is I can take that i5, and that's running Windows 11. I can take that and throw it right up in the attic, and that can be the new media server up there. And so I needed a new system down here. So I built a new computer this week. I just finished it. A couple of days ago. I have some pictures of it right here. There it is there. They all come with these stupid fans now. But it's like, whatever. I think I got a little bit of footage of it. Right here. That's That's a new Ultra 7. And I just went air cooling because I'm not going to be doing too crazy. I went with the air cooling instead of the liquid cooling. There's been a sort of a move away in the industry from the liquid cooling. Here's another shot of it. I built it yesterday. I put it in a service last night. And it's been going great. Like the software that was giving me the hard time, all cleared up. That's like, it's got like literally double the performance in single coil and triple the performance in multi-core. So it's just like so much better than the fans are pretty stupid. A friend of mine was like, "Why did you get white?" And that's actually a very easy answer. Because they were out of stock on the black. And someone was saying they thought it was going to overheat. And I'm like, no, the front door has a giant gap, not just on the side, but a huge gap on the top on purpose. So you can put cables in and out. And the back isn't in anything. It's wide open to the air. Right? The whole thing, the whole back of this is wide open. So it's fine. But, yeah, I'm just using the integrated video. I don't need to use anything before. And the integrated video is so much better. The old one was like the UHD 660 or 690. And this new one is like is an ARC. It's like a light version of their ARC. It's like the XE cores. So much nicer. It's got 4 XE cores in it. So it's not really meant for gaming, but it's a much more powerful a GPU than was in the old one. So how much did it cost? I'd have to put it all together. I'm going to say all the parts ran me about $700. My case was $65. See, if I wanted the black case, $130 because they were out of stock. So it was all scalpers. So black case $130, white case $65. I'll go with white. I want to say the power supply, the processor itself, the Intel was $259. The motherboard was $159. The case was $65. The RAM was $75, which was on sale Prime Day. So was the processor, and so was the motherboard. They were all Prime Day sales. And the only thing that wasn't on sale and I couldn't get a good deal on was the power supply, which cost me $120. But I don't like it to cheap out on the power supply. I bought an 850, like friggin' Gold Star, friggin' platinum rated, all that stupid monorail crap. You know, they say fully modular. They get you. They get you on the PSUs. They really do. Exactly. I could spray paint it. Sure. Sure. What's great is because the old system was Intel and the new system is Intel, I could take the old hard drive out of my old music system and put it in this and boot it up and have it go through a little of its hardware finding and finally work itself out and pretty much just install. You can't go from AMD. AMD's trickier with this. Intel is really good. So as long as you don't do too much of a leap, I went from 10th gen to 15th gen, and but I don't think I could go from like 5th gen. I think that's too far, right? So it's like as long as you're pretty recent, I was able to just literally take the hard drives out of the old one, put them in the new one. They actually run a lot faster because it has a better NVMe slot. Put them in the new one, and it boot up and go through a bunch of hardware cycles, right? Install all the new hardware and then go through. And then, of course, like it takes about a day, but Windows will complain that it's not activated, but I can just go online and activate it again. And boom, back up. I usually use Seasonic. I think I used Corsair this time. Oh, thanks, Al John. Yeah, I thought it came out pretty good. You know, Yeah. There it is. Let me see if I can get do I have a picture of the front? I don't know if you can see it down there. That's actually one of my SSD drives. I have a giant pipe set on it because the friggin' thing is so stupid. Hot. That one, they all run about 30C. This one runs 70C. That's 4 terabyte one. 2 terabytes. The other ones are, right, and it's like the latest, like Gen 4. So it runs stupid hot for some reason. So I have this giant friggin' like pipe heatsink on it. I've known about it running hot for a long time. And I said, well, if I build this, I'll throw one of these on it. I threw a regular heatsink on it, and no go. I had to go with the stupid, you can see the pipe sticking out. It's like an S pipe. It goes in down here, curves around, and comes back about, here. It's a heat pipe. I thought that might drop it by like 10 or 15C, but it only dropped it by about 5C. But I'll take it. I'll take whatever I can get. So, not bad. I think it's not thermal take. It could be thermal take. I'd have to take I forget who makes the case. Yeah, you know what? It came with some cable management, but I don't care about that. It's literally, where is it? That's what it looks like. How much cable management am I doing? Nobody's seeing this shit. It's down in that's literally what it looks like to the naked eye at all times. Everything is, yeah, talking about the fans. Could I turn off the RGB? I can. The problem with turning off the RGB, and why I don't like, I could probably just unplug it. I don't think they're connected. In other words, I think there's a separate power chain and a separate lighting chain. The RGB, to turn it off with this, you have to download the MSI software. In other words, you can't do it in the BIOS. You have to do it you have to download this software, and I hate their freaking software. It feels very invasive. It feels like it takes. I cannot stand the MSI whole software experience. Not a fan. So whatever its default set to is what's just running in there. And it does add a nice little glow down there. And sometimes I do open it up to look for stuff on the floor. Because the old one glowed too. The old one had a glow to it as well. Had the whole RGB crap. Does it allow my RGB? I don't think I can do it in the mother. You know what? I'll take a look because it's a modern system. I might be able to do it right in the BIOS. But I think if I remember correctly, MSI makes you do is it makes you download the MSI Command Center software. And that shit is just crazy invasive. It won't work unless it can get out to the internet. It needs Bluetooth access. It's what the fuck do you need this access for? It's really stupid. I really don't like that app. So I usually just leave it on default and just go, whatever. Whatevs. Whatevs, brah. You guys can turn it off in the BIOS. You know what? I'll take a look. There might be something there. The BIOS is way more, it's a pretty recent. In fact, the latest firmware I just installed when I got it was from July, so pretty recent build. You could tell when you're in there, because this is my fourth or fifth MSI. I usually go MSI, Gigabyte. I have an Asus, but I'm not crazy about the Asus as much. I think I like MSI. MSI and Gigabyte. Those are the two I tend to use. If I'm really broke, I'll get an AS Rock. MSI Command Center sucks balls. See, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. That MSI software feels like a giant spyware, right? No, is it just me? Is it just my paranoia? Oh my God, that's so tasty. Yeah, I've had a few AS Rock systems over there. They're one of the best for the bargain stuff. I put together a system. I swear to God, that motherboard cost me like, I think it was $65, I think, something like that. It was cheap because I had an old 2700X just sitting there, and it just needed to have a certain PCI X1 connector, which they most do. And I didn't want to have to, drag out my other system, which was obviously down in that pit. And I really didn't have another convenient system. I just wanted a little bench system. And I had a 2700X, like sitting up on a shelf, an AMD 2700X. And I had just retired an Intel system from 2016 that had an NVIDIA RX 960 in it. So I just plucked that 960 right out of that, cleaned it all up, and threw it in the 2700X, which doesn't have, integrated graphics. So that worked out great because I had a bunch of footage on mini DV cam. Remember that when that was all the rage? The little mini DV cams. It's like a lot of robotics going on in there. And I'm trying to get those pulled off of there. And I needed a system, like a good bench system to do it. And so I already had the case. So all I had to buy was the motherboard and the RAM. I had everything else ready to go. Just found an NVMe drive. It happens. THU2 on Linux? I don't think they have a Linux build, no. Check their website, but I don't think so. Right, a truck trailer. Exactly, the trailer special. And down at the truckery. I know. Well, wait till we have, what is the internet going to be like when everyone just has a terabit, right? Right. At first, we thought a gigabit sounded like ridiculous, but we're here. We're getting a 10 gigabit. What happened? 100 gigabit. It's going to get there. What do you get when you hit like a terabit of transfer rate? It's gonna be crazy. And like when that becomes like the norm, like you say, petabytes of storage. So I've been going through the Korg a little bit more, and man, does that thing sound nice? It really does. I still think I like the Modi X's pianos better. I sold the Modi X, that's gone. I think the pianos are a little better, but I don't play a ton of piano, and I think the strings, the synths. I swear to God, as ironic as it sounds, I think even some of the FMs, you know, the what they call the Mod 7, their version of a DX7, and the Korg, it sounds so nice. So, you know. Yeah, 4 gig hard drive. More storage than you'll ever need. Well, Bill Gates famously talked about the 640K limit on RAM. And he's like, yeah, but someone said, you know, you wonder if we'll ever get past the 640K limit. He's like, for what? Who would ever need more than 640K RAM? Have a good one, man. I tell you, the neck on this might be one of my favorite guitars that I've had, and this neck is rolled so friggin' nice, and it's so nice. I just like this profile. I like everything about this guitar, except the input jack. And you know, and what's up with the friggin' logo? You know, it used to follow the bottom of the, you know, the headstock. I guess and I don't think it's following the strings either. I think it's supposed to be following the neckline, but it's too far away. So it's warped. It's off kilter as to the string line. It's off kilter as to the bass line. Right? It's off kilter as to the, you know, the headstock. You know, the top line. There's no parallel line to that thing. It feels random. I guess the closest one is the neckline, but it's too far away. If it wasn't for the output jack, it might be a keeper. Well, not this particular guitar, but I'd be interested in maybe buying one. But these are loaners. I gotta send them back. I'm not a fan of the all access neck joint. Not because the neck joint isn't good, but because when it has that, it's got a different neck profile on it. And it's got a big, giant, wide stripe of a skunk stripe on the back of the back of the neck, right? Right? They completely switch up how they make that neck, and they make that everything. And I don't like that neck profile. I like this neck profile a million times. But this is a really, really nice playing guitar. This is like so freaking rounded, so it feels so nice. Just snapped the a throttle bar off on one of your Fender strap raises. Oh no, do you have, I was having that happen sometimes, and I found out I just had too many springs in the back, and I was slowly fatiguing the metal every time I used it. I went lighter on the springs when I replaced it, but you're going to have to get yourself a, what do they call that? We used to call them an easy out. You get basically, you need a core removal tool. What it usually comes with is a reverse drill bit, which you're going to need a small one to get down. It's going to be tough to get that directly. I might even pull the whole thing out and put it in a vise and not even put it in the guitar. And especially if you can put it in the vise on a drill press. You need a reverse drill. You need to run the drill in reverse and drill down into it. Sometimes you can grab it and pull it out just in that step. If not, the second step is you put a, it's like a, it almost looks like a twisty ice cream cone. But it's in reverse, and it's got a lot of, edges to grab and bite into it, and it's a reverse thread. When you start to get that in there, and eventually it'll start to bite in, and it will pull it out and get it out reverse. It's a big pain in the ass, though. Yeah, reverse bit and a reverse rotation drill, and like he said, it's like an extractor. What do they call that? It's like a, is it an easy out? Is that what they call it? An easy out? But yeah, I have a whole kit because it happens. I used to, my God, on my friggin' Strat, my Fender the Strat, I think 3 times I went to my metal shop guy at school, at high school, because I broke the bar off. And he's like, there's something wrong, you keep breaking bars. And he was right. And the thing that was wrong was, I had, like someone probably said, you put more springs on the back, you get more tone. And it was so hard, I kept fatiguing the metal until finally I just broke it. I went much lighter on the springs, and it went away. But those Fenders had very thin bars. Do I have one right here? Yeah. The Floyd Roaster, much thicker bar. Way more suitable to long-term fatigue than the stock Fender one, for sure. Yeah, easy out. Yeah, that's what I thought. Easy out. Yeah. You just go to the shop and get something to fix this, yeah. Sometimes you can go to a machine shop and they can hook you up. Because they have all the tools, they have it ready to go, they have the vise, they have the press, they have everything right there. But it could be expensive. It's probably cheaper just to go buy the extraction kits, which usually come with a few drill bits and a few easy outs, right? A few reverse extractors. Exactly, just checked. It's got 5 springs. Yeah, that's what does it, right? You have so much tension on the backside that when you try to use the bar, it fatigues that. It's got that horrible area like right below where it goes in, right? So you got all this leverage, and so it's easy for you because you've got this big lever. And that, you're working on a fulcrum, so, you're able to work it down, and but you don't realize just the sheer amount of tension that's going in that, right in that spot where it enters the trim. Yeah, probably a ton. I'd pull at least 2 springs out. And then you can always adjust the claw to get it back to where you want it. And you won't have nearly as much tension. You know what? I've even done, a lot of times I even just do 2 springs. 2 springs, and you can adjust the claw way down, and you get much lighter tension. You just want to do it so that when you bend, the bridge isn't coming forward. So you can do double stops, you know? That's how yours happened to, Ben Tom. 5 springs. Yeah, that's what I had, I think, in mine. I think I had 5 springs in the back of that friggin' Strat. Why did my bar keep breaking? What's up, B-Mac in Belfast, Ireland? Yeah, I know. I love everything about this guitar, except the input jack. But barring the input jack, it's got a killer neck. The neck on this is so nice. And it's quite the looker. I think it's a good-looking guitar. And, you know, normally I'm not into the gold, but oddly enough, the gold really works with this finish. Yeah, it really kind of does. Is it time for a guitar change, though? Is it time to switch up to the Model 1A? Hold up. All right, I just have to, this was sitting on a stand for a while. Let me just run it through the tuner. They always go sharp on the stand. They just do. Yeah. It's like Axl Rose. Yeah. I think you got that from Curly. All right, that looks pretty good. All right, we gotta hit that a little bit. Sure. I'm just saying, if Jimmy were alive today, he'd probably be playing a Charvel. Probably. It's not gravity. What it is I think it's temperature. I think when the guitar's in your hand, it's warmer because you're touching it and heating it up with the warmth of your hands. And I think as it sits on the stand, it goes colder and it goes slightly sharp. Because I feel like it's worse in the winter. Just saying, if Randy was alive today, he'd probably be playing a Charvel model at 1A. Probably. We can only speculate. Exactly. If Jack Butler were alive today, if Steve Ive were alive today, he'd probably be playing a Charvel. Probably. We can only speculate. It's amazing how bluesy, you know. Can't remember it. It's very bright and spanky, yeah. A little bit of smooth jazz. Yeah. We can switch it up. We have, sometimes I'll switch it, you know. We can try the clean sound if you want. What am I doing? Helps if you put your fingers in the right place. This is a much wider neck. Jim, it's a it's sort of a running joke. It started with I believe it started all the way back when I had the Steinberger. Was that the GT2, right? The little headless, stainless GT guitar. I said something like, I'm just sure if Hendrix were alive today. I think I played a Hendrix riff. If Hendrix were alive today, he'd probably be playing the Steinberger, which, of course, for some dudes, it makes their goddamn head explode. And then that morphed into, if Randy was alive today, I'd be playing like some friggin' He'd probably be playing a Telecaster. Again, just to watch heads explode. And then that morphed into people that were alive. I'm just saying, if Jimmy Page were alive today, he'd probably be playing this Godin. Jimmy Page isn't dead! Probably. Listen, we can only speculate. We can only speculate. Exactly. If Clapton were alive today, he'd probably be playing the Legator Ninja 6. Probably. Listen, we can only speculate. You have to find, like, the most inappropriate guitar, I'm just saying, if John Mayer were alive today, he'd probably be playing the Wild Audio Blood Eagle. Probably. Listen, we can only speculate. But I could see that. The main goal of the game is to associate a guitar the least likely possibly associated with the person as you know them, right? I'm just saying if Jose Feliciano were alive today, he'd probably be playing the Hydra. Exactly. He changed his name to Hydra Feliciano. The lipstick Charvels, you mean what they call the toothpaste logo ones? I think so. I don't know if they switch manufacturers or if it's just a design change. I don't know enough about Charvel. In other words, it's like, oh no, when they switch to the lipstick logo or the toothpaste logo, whatever you want to call it, that by the time you get there, it's a different factory. I don't know. I think it's the same factory. No? And we can go to Charvel Cam here. Do-do-do-do. I got those LEDs on so you're seeing them get reflected. That's really the only ding right there. Other than up there at the neck pocket too. Over there. Other than that, it's actually really friggin' clean. You know? I mean, like, really clean. Yeah, Shining Star, right? So that has to stay going. And when that whoever's doing this, you got to keep that going. The other person goes. And he goes like, it's so fast. Yeah, you know, the model series is interesting because people are like, you know, I don't think that's right. I think that's been modded because, you know, mine didn't have a pickguard. It's like, dude, and they made a lot of models, okay? It's like, they literally made 3 models in the Model 1. And then there's also the Model 2, the Model 3, the Model 4, the Model 6. No Model 5? No, I'm just kidding. Of course, it's Model 5. Oh, you know what? I already did that. Charvel. Catalog. We got an 80. Yeah, there you go. Hello. Yes, guys, got the. You got it here? Yeah. Yeah, there you go. There's your Charvel catalog right there. There's the 1. There's the 1A. I thought they made a 1B. As you can see, I don't know if you can see this. Like, that's my guitar. And that's that guitar. It's almost like, I think the body's been changed. I'm like, really? You think that's a different body than that one, huh? Okay. Interesting theory. I don't. I think it's a Model 1A, and it's pretty much spot on. The Model 2. I thought they made a Model 1B, but maybe not. Maybe it was another. Here's the Model 2. Adding the locking trim system. These Jackson trims kind of blue, though. I thought they felt clunky compared to the... of course, you got your Model 3. You see a lot of these out there. That's a nice one. You got a blade switch. You got a single, double. Right? That's a nice one. I kind of like that. Model 3A. What does it add? 2 humbuckers instead of the single, double. Right? Still blade switch, but now you're getting 2 humbuckers. Model 4 adds single, single, double, and you get the, like the, I don't know, shark tooth. I don't think so. What do they call that? Diamond? Some sort of inlay. Sharp inlay. It's the Sharpie. Right there. Model 4. Yeah, throw that in the catalog. Sure. The Model 5, I think you're getting not a Strat top, right? It's looking more and more like flatter, like the Soloist, right? You're slowly morphing into the Soloist. And Soloist morph complete. It's pretty much like a Jackson Soloist, except it's a rosewood fretboard. And it's made in Japan instead of America. But it's a neck through. Geez, I could have bought one of these years ago for short money. I should have got it. Because now they're like $1,600, $1,400, $1,500, $1,600, $1,700 they want for them now. Which is a little kooky. Considering I just bought a Jackson for $13.99. So, you know. Okay, 1B. Unless that's a bass. What is on Maple Poplar? They're basses. I knew there was a B. The B's are basses. That's what it is. The B is the bass. 3B. All right, we're into bass. This is actually worth a little bit of money. The chainsaw case. That might be worth half as much as the freaking guitar, because the people like them, and they're harder and harder to find because they've been off the market for so long. So having the chainsaw case is freaking huge. A little spec finish, and that might be it. Yeah, that's it. Chainsaws are optional. You have one of those, yeah. Yeah, they're kind of hot. They're sought after. You know, trying to find what they call the chainsaw case. Stick with the clean. Switch to another tone. Let me know. Yeah, it seems like the chainsaw cases they were kind of a thing. Now they're gone, and now people have nostalgia for them. You know, gonna have to whack this thing. Well, to get a jazzy tone, you just playing was better when you had the chainsaw case? Sure. I'm just saying. If David Gilmour was still alive, he'd probably be using a chainsaw case. Probably. Yeah, $400. Yeah, no, they want stupid money for them. Do I still practice? I do. I practice every week on usually Saturday night between 7 and 9 p.m. That's about it. That's usually my playing time. Then after that, I just stare off into space. That's usually what's happening down here. I'm just... Exactly, you're watching me practice right now. You're soaking in it. Is it A? Exactly. If I was still alive, I'd be playing Charvel, exactly. Nah. See? No, what is it? I think it's that. All right. That sounds right to my ear. No. I think so. Is it that? Is it minor? No, I think it's... Yeah. My LP like a zoot, and they're all cracked. Actually, I think it's Synchronicity 2. Oh yeah, I know, all the country players. I'm just saying, if Roy Clark was still alive, he'd probably be playing a Charvel Model 1A. If Jerry Reed was still alive. Boom, ba-dum, ba-dum, boom. Is it a minor? Yeah. Hey, little sister, who's your Superman? Exactly. It's a rhinestone Charvel. Did see? It's a rhinestone Charvel. I'd have to think of that. Sounds like rhinestone Charvel, right? Oh yeah, these are all the rage on Hee Haw. God, who didn't have one of these? You poke your eye out. Exactly, then a trucker he had would play. That was Axel Campbell with Rhinestone Charvel. Just saying, if Keith Richards were alive today. I tell you, I've been interested in the HP2s by Peavey. You familiar with those? HP2? gorgeous tops. They're a flame cap, you know, with it's a basically a, you know, they're EBH Wolfgang, but they call it the HP2, and they're made in I believe the Czech Republic, and they're nice bird's eye maple necks and everything. They were over $2,000, but I'm starting to see them like show up used for like under 1,500. I tell you, I've been interested in getting one. I'll bet it's gorgeous. Czech Republic, right? I have any coffee left? I do. I do. Man, that's tasty. Yeah, I was going through the, I think I might have mentioned this last week, but I was going through that Korg, and, you know, some of the sounds, I mean, they were okay, but they weren't, like, blowing me away, but I found out that those were actually modeled. It was modeling. And later on, you get to their straight-up, like, sample playback, and a lot of the sounds sound more like what you would expect, because they're not modeled. They're straight up. I'm sure you have a lot more leeway with the modeled sounds, you know, in terms of tone shaping, but I still thought it sounded better, you know, with the it depends on the patch, but certainly some of those plucked strings sounded way better. We also realized, because we were playing back some of the built-in patches, I had a friend over and we were listening to it, and he's like, that guitar sound is pretty damn good. I'm like, yeah, that sounds almost too good, because, you know, all the keyboard guitar sounds usually sound like crap to me. You know, if you, just like the saxophone sound like crap to a saxophone player. You know, it's like these, they never quite hit the mark if you're familiar with the instrument enough. So the guitar sounds on keyboards always sound like garbage to me. And he was like, this is like, might be one of the best sounding guitar sounds I've ever heard. And we looked it up. It was a recorded audio track. You can record audio directly into it. And this person just recorded the audio track directly in. He said, that's why it sounds real. It is. No, I have a Korg Nautilus. I just picked up a Nautilus. And I sold my MDX. It's gone. Gone. Took 3 days. Gone. See ya. Meow. Later. So, it's good. Good. The Modi X was nice, but I think I like the Nautilus a little better. Should we go back to a distorted sound or stay here? They still got the B-Stock Nautilus for $1,000. It was under $1,000. It was 10% off when I ordered mine. I paid $989, just a touch over $1,000 for it right now. But that's a really good deal, and you get it direct from Korg USA, right from Kusa. And it was like mint, dead friggin' mint. So I like, and it's heavy and it's solid. It's got the big wooden ends on it. It's quite a beast. What a machine. I've been really digging it. Clean for too long. This is so I'm getting mixed messages. That's nice. Nice. Hope if you played it right. Hold on. There's not really a dedicated that's that clean patch with the little tube screamer on. I have this one. A little noisy though. What's this? That's that's a little too bright. Meh. Where's my behave lead? Can't go wrong with that. Have a good one, John. Oh man. So any plans for this week? I haven't shot my guitar of the week yet. I gotta take a look and see what I have. I have one I know I've been wanting to try. For maybe it's that's I'll finally get that out this week. But I'm trying to think of what I have. I gotta shoot it tomorrow. You know, I used to know more Richie Blackmore, but I don't really remember a lot of his riffs. That's it. I forget it now. Do. Oh yeah, getting a new classical Cordoba C7. Yeah. That's nice. I don't think I have a nylon any string any longer. I've had. You know what? I actually. No, I don't think so. I want to say that the nylon strings I have. I was going to say I might have a not Ovation. What's that other brand there? Oh God, I can't think of their name. You know that other one that does. Anyway, I think I have a couple of. I think they're Ukes. I don't think they're 6-string. I think they're 4-string. It does sound nice though, huh? No, not orange wood. Trying to think if I have something right here with their name on it. They make a lot of different. They make a lot of different. They make like classicals. Oh God, what the hell is their name? It's not orange wood though. It's got like a. Or I want to say Ortiz, but it's like or not oregano. It's like how is Ortega? No, what is it? What is it? Is it Ortega? The hell is the name of them? Something with an O. Definitely not Esteban. Who was yeah, Ortega. I think yeah. I think that is it. I think it's Ortega. I don't think there's anything back there. No. No kitties under there right now. No kitties down here, period. What's above over there on the top? What's that thing right there? That's the gas meter. No, it's definitely Ortega. Yeah, once you've hooked up your PV to a gas meter, there's no going back. You know the tone. Oh, the tone. The tone. Well, in the middle, there's a leg right underneath where the seam is, and back there's a cat toy. But yeah, once you've run a bit of methane through your amp, you realize where the tone, the pros all get their tone. I truly am practicing. To the left of the leg, there's eyes staring. Do you see eyes staring at you in a lot of places? That's the first sign, man. I didn't want to be the one to say it, but you probably have a little paranoid schizophrenia going on. Probably. We can only speculate. I don't really know gypsy scales. A lot of people equate Phrygian Do you hear state troopers on the roof? They're probably there, even if you don't hear them. I'm just saying, they're probably up there already. Staying nice and quiet. Ready to spring in at any moment. Auditory hallucinations are real. I was sleep deprived for days. Yeah. Yeah, I I don't know about their hallucinations, but I'm always going, what? People going, what? I thought you called my name. No one's calling you. Okay, I just thought what? They're like, no one's calling you. I'm like, okay. What? Yeah. I know a dude who participated in the sleep study, and they sleep deprived him as a part of the study. And he said, he goes, I was full on hallucinating at the end. Like, I was out of my freaking mind. He goes, because they keep you awake He goes, you know, you get up to like 30 hours of being awake, 40 hours being awake straight. He goes, after a couple of years, because they're keeping him awake for days. He goes, you start to stay awake for that long a time. And there was a guy, a radio host, who said he was going to stay awake for a week, and he couldn't do it. He started hallucinating after a few days. Thought there was a giant chicken in the room, right? And they found you start to lose your freaking mind. And oh no, he got paid. He got paid, and it was with a large, I forget, it might have been with it was with a large teaching hospital. It might have been with either Harvard or Tufts. It was legit, and he got paid. It was 2 weeks. It was 2 weeks, and he said, he goes, I just remember, he goes, they did the sleep deprivation. He goes, I was losing my friggin' shit. You know? No. There's no cat under the couch, but way in the back, under the couch, way in the back, it looks like a cat toy that is shiny. I think that's what you're seeing. Have a good one, speaker. Oh man, it's 9 p.m. It's time to call it a night, guys. Thanks so much for hanging out. You know, it's the dog days of summer. It's just a countdown to Labor Day weekend and Halloween. I'm looking forward to the first frost. So sorry, I'm not a big summer guy, and it's too hot. They're a hot shot. But check out Monday's guitar. I don't know what it's going to be. I think, I don't know. I got to go through. I either have one that's way more like sort of, so, you know, what would you rather see? Something that's a little bit more slick and polished, something like, it's not this guitar, but like a Les Paul Custom, right? In other words, it feels like high end, or something a little bit more rustic and a little bit more, basic, and I have both guitars here. I'm just trying to think. I think I have one that's I think it's more of like a satin finish, and I think the other one's more of a gloss finish and it might even have gold hardware. So I'll figure it out. I gotta pull one of them out of a box. Start. Do the high end. Do the nicer one. Go with the one that's more like the. I think it's supposed to be kind of a take on a Les Paul Custom, right? It's kind of similar. It has like a glossy finish, and I think it has gold hardware. I'd have to go back and take a look. You like the tree? You like something rustic? I think they're. I don't know if this is me. I think they're both black. But one's a gloss black and one's like a satin black, I think. I think that's the difference between the two, right? And one's like way more like rustic and the other one's way more like polished, right? Other than that, they're identical. Sure. Couple of humbuckers. All right. You guys have a wonderful week. Check out Monday's guitar. I have no idea what it's going to be, but it's going to be something. Check that out. Have a wonderful week. We will do it all again next week. And until then, have a great week. And you guys rock. And brofist to my mod squad. Hashtag brofist, hashtag mod squad. All right. You guys have a great one. Well, let me just throw this out there. What if, I'm just going to throw this out. What if one of them had a piezo pickup? Does that change your mind at all? Would you rather have the piezo pickup? It's an electric guitar with I think it's got a piezo pickup in it, in addition to the regular pickups. And the other one is just more like a regular guitar with just humbuckers. Would you prefer the piezo setup because it's a little bit different? I'm trying to mix it up. It's a bit of a mix up. So we'll see. Anyway, just something to think about. Piezo. One of them's just regular. One of them's got a piezo system, and one's rustic, one's sort of high end and glossy, and one is like piezo system. I think it's like literally 3 different guitars. You know. I think the piezo one has an F-hole. Does that change you at all? No? All right. Anyway. No, you rock. Have a great week. I will see you next week. Have a wonderful week. I'll see you then. All right. I'm off.